10 Things You Didn't Know About Apostle Johnson Suleman. Johnson Suleman, born March 24, 1971, is a Nigerian televangelist and the senior pastor and general overseer of Omega Fire Ministries International, a church with its headquarters in Auchi, Edo State. After working as an assistant pastor in the Armor of God Church in Lagos from 1998, he started Omega Fire Ministries in 2004. From his ministry, wealth, scandals, miracle, acts of charity, or making controversial statements and prophecies, Pastor Johnson Suleman is one man of God who is constantly in the news. The fiber that ties him to so much controversies can be traced from his upbringing and core beliefs, which many are still very oblivious about. Hello Displorers! Welcome to another informative video presented to you by Displorer. In this video, we shall look at 10 things you probably didn't know about Pastor Johnson Suleman. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and turn notifications so you don't miss out on any of our videos. Number 1. Mixed faith family destroyed his family. Apostle Johnson Suleman was born in Benin, capital of Edo State, and no one knows the exact date of his birth. Coming from a mixed faith home that eventually tore his family apart, his father was a Muslim while his mother was a Christian. The difference in faith along with other issues eventually led to the separation of his parents. According to reports, a few days after Suleman was born, some prophet from Wari in Delta State visited them with a prophecy that he would become a minister. This eventually solidified the pastor's conviction that he was destined to be a preacher when he was called to serve later in life. Number 2. He did not like his mother. Following the separation of his parents, the pastor was able to taste what it felt like living with his mother and father separately. He revealed this in an interview with Encomium. My mother laid down the rule that you must be home by 6 p.m. If you come home at 7 p.m., she would open the door for you. Then, she was in the police force. She would open the door and spray tear gas into the room. That's where you'd be locked up and you'd be battling till morning to breathe. She was very tough. You can only think of getting out of the room if you can find your way to the door. It was a horrible experience, but now I'm happy that I went through that training. She had instilled discipline in us, but then I didn't like my mother. When I was at my father's house, we were free to do all sorts of corrupt things. As a young Muslim man, I finished my Quran and I did my walima. This separate living led to young Suleman galvanizing into all sorts of unhealthy habits, including keeping bad company. Number 3. Pastor Suleman once belonged to a cult. According to the cable, the preacher joined a cult because he was looking for acceptance. In his words, I was a dignified cultist. I am from a home of separated parents. My parents had some issues. Any child from a home like that is bound to fall into the streets. So I got into school and I wanted acceptance somewhere. Someone told me that there is something called brotherhood and that I would be accepted as a family member, and I liked it. I didn't know there was a beating part and being taken to the bush. I didn't like that, but you have to go into it. What I always avoided then was the assignment. I was just like a floor member. I would go to the meetings, and when assigned to do something and I couldn't, I had to look for someone to do it and pay for it. I was not really happy, but I was there. Thank God the man of God finally found his way away from that. Number 4. Suleman initially hated Christianity. Thanks to his father's influence, the younger Suleman thought all Christians were insincere. Thus he disliked the religion. He received his calling in 1989, and according to him, he had a divine intervention that changed the course of his life. I went to bed on December 24th, and I woke up on December 26th. I didn't see Christmas Day. I slept all through. In the midst of that, I was seeing hell, heaven, and a voice that told me that I was going to be a preacher. I woke up and went to meet a Malam, and he said I should go and do some recitations, but when I went back, I felt beaten, he said. This eventually led to the establishment of his church in 2004, hence fulfilling the prophecy of the prophet who visited him at birth to tell him he would be a preacher. Number 5. Apostle Suleman told his security to kill Fulani herdsmen. Apostle Suleman was recently all over the news for telling his security to kill Fulani herdsmen in a viral video. This attracted the attention of the Department of State Services, DSS, who invited him to their Abuja office after their initial attempt to get him was blocked by Ayodele Fayose, the governor of Ekiti State. This meeting, which held on January 30, 2017, went well, according to the sources at the DSS office, where he was reminded of his responsibility to his following. In defense for his words, the man of God claimed that the information made available to him indicated that Fulani herdsmen were planning to attack his church. He said he was frustrated that the government didn't seem to be doing enough to ward off the incessant attacks from the herdsmen around southern Kaduna. Number 6. He was involved in a sex scandal. Apostle Johnson Suleman of the Omega Fire Ministries worldwide was the subject of a sex scandal that went viral on social media, involving a 23-year-old young lady, Stephanie Otobo. Also known as Kimora, Stephanie, a London-based musician, had released a set of damaging Snapchat shots on the internet, allegedly of herself and the pastor, whom she claimed impregnated and dumped her. Nothing prepared Nigerians for the revelation that greeted them when Stephanie posted an online video detailing the pastor's allegedly kinky sex encounters with her. Stephanie alleged that Apostle Suleman started an affair with her in 2015 after telling her that he was divorced and wanted more male children. Their affair came to a sour end when Stephanie discovered she was pregnant in September 2016 and informed the pastor, who did not help by allegedly insisting on sexual activity that involved a threesome. She said she lost the pregnancy after she alleged that she was given a concoction to drink by Suleman. Stephanie had also accused Apostle Suleman, through her lawyer, of failing to keep a marriage promise made to her, illegal procurement of abortion, threat to life, and attempted murder. Mr. Suleman had refused all of these allegations and countersued Stephanie. But in a shocking turnaround, his accuser, Miss Stephanie Otobo, appeared on the altar of Omega Fire Industries in Auchi to confess to having been used by powerful politicians and pastors to implicate Apostle Suleman. With the several backs and forths that this case keeps giving, the truth lies only between the parties involved. Number 7. 2 things Suleman fears most in life. With scandal after scandal popping up every other day about the prominent man of God, Apostle Johnson Suleman has made it clear that those are not the things that scare him most in life. In a confession he made during one of his church international ministers conference with the theme Minister Without Blemish, which was obtained in a video posted by Celebration TV Live on YouTube, Apostle Johnson Suleman during the church service said that all that has been happening to him was a setup and that it was for his promotion. He went further to say that his marriage and reputation are 2 things he feared so much in his life, and in his own words, 2 things I fear in my life and I hold them so much, I live for them. 1 is my marriage, 2 is my reputation. I'm very careful with what I do, where I go, because of these things. There is nothing else. Number 8. He says Cameroon is his second home. Known for many controversial prophecies, one that has stood out in recent times are the prophetic inconsistencies of Apostle Johnson Suleman about the Southern Cameroon's revolution. Ever since the commencement of the Southern Cameroon's Ambazonian Revolution, Apostle Johnson Suleman has made a series of inconsistent prophetic declarations in relation to the revolution. Sometimes the man of God seems to be saying the problem is due to the government, and in other times, he's advising the government to declare war on the Ambazonians of southern Cameroon. According to Suleman, The solution God revealed to him was that all pastors in the 10 regions of Cameroon should do a 21 days fasting and prayer at the same time, back to back, and all these will die down. He added that Cameroon had been praying for the war to stop. Instead, they should pray for a strong man to be brought down. God says the leader is the leader of the rebels. I have always said this. My first country is Nigeria, and my second country is Cameroon. So if you see me interested in Cameroon, it is not because there is anything I'm connected to, but God told me. I heard this from God. I was praying for America to conquer America, and the Lord said to me, "You are a voice to America. Europe, you are a voice to African countries, but I make you a prophet to Cameroon." I heard it from God. It's not something I can claim to myself. Pastor Suleman definitely has a lot to say about his supposed second home. Number 9. He's worth over $100 million. Apostle Johnson Suleman's total assets are over $100 million as of 2021, making him probably one of the richest pastors in Nigeria. His luxurious cars include Royce Phantom, Toyota Land Cruiser, Prado, and he also owns a private jet. Apostle Johnson Suleman's home has a helipad, a gigantic pool, is outfitted with the most extravagant items, making it quite possibly the most excellent home in Edo State. Number 10. His greatest achievement is God. Given Pastor Suleman has been seen thick, thin, and even strayed so far away from Christianity, the fact that he eventually not only converted to become a Christian, but also an influential man of God, is a miracle on its own. With all that he has been able to achieve, the pastor will shock you with what he regards as his greatest achievement. In an interview with Vanguard, he said, "As for the achievements, we have several daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly achievements, but the greatest of it all is that we have the Most High God with us in all our ways." Also speaking with Vanguard, he said, "Men of God called to proclaim the gospel of Christ in truth cannot be separated from having challenges in their various assignments, as challenges are all part of the call. The general challenge irrespective of the call is the flesh and the devil. If these two things are removed, there won't be any challenge." There you have it, explorers. Those were 10 things you didn't know about Apostle Johnson Suleman. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe and share with your friends.